Messy weeks, shifting plans, this layout gets it, and it might just become your go-to. Hi friends, welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode 2 of Simple Systems, a new series where I share easy rhythms and tools that actually fit real life. In today's video, I would love for you to meet your new favorite layout, the Rolling Weekly. In this video, I'm going to share with you what the Rolling Weekly is, who made it, how to set one up, and why it might be the secret weapon your bullet journal's been missing. The Rolling Weekly, this is what it looks like, is a flexible, low-pressure way to plan your week that I think can actually keep up with real life. So its layout is from the Alistair method. I have a whole video breaking down what this bullet journal technique is with various example spreads of how it could be used. I can link that video down in the description box below as well as in the cards. But the TLDR version of this is basically, it's a minimal way to track tasks, events, projects, what have you, across a certain time frame. So you've got a list of tasks that go down the page, and then you have columns of dates beside it. And this is where you can mark which day or month or whatever time frame you choose each task belongs to with a bullet point or a symbol. So in this case with the Rolling Weekly, I've got from Sunday to Saturday, we have from February 16th to the 22nd, and I have a list of all the tasks I would like to get done for that week. Alistair Johnston, the creator of the Alistair method, initially used this clean column-based layout as an alternative to the traditional way one would make a future log. Here's the traditional way one would make a future log based off of Ryder Carroll's tutorial videos on the bullet journal method. And here is Alistair Johnston's way of making a future log. So with making a future log using the Alistair method, you would have a series of columns for each month on the left. You could do January, March, April, May, June, let's say. And then on the right side, you would have every future commitment with its exact date. Now, it wouldn't matter if it was written in chronological order or not, because when it comes to migrating these future commitments onto a monthly log, all you would have to do is quickly scan down to the respective month, locate the bullets, and then just migrate all those tasks and events to that monthly log. The Rolling Weekly is the Alistair method, but on a weekly scale. I believe Plant-Based Bride here on YouTube coined the term and created this layout. I'm honestly not sure how I discovered the Rolling Weekly. I think I saw spreads of this floating on the internet and just gave it a go. But yeah, I will link you to their content so you can check them out and support what they do. If you haven't already noticed, I'm a huge fan of this layout, but you may be wondering if this is going to work for you, so let's figure that out together. Are you an overwhelmed overplanner? Do you find yourself rewriting the same task over and over again all throughout the week? Are you over it? Guess what? The Rolling Weekly solves that problem. Are you a perfectionist that's trying to avoid burnout? So you start off Monday strong, you've got a bunch of to-dos you want to accomplish throughout the week, but by Friday, your weekly layout is looking like a ghost town. The Rolling Weekly removes the pressure to perfectly plan out your days or complete tasks on specific days. It is a flexible list that rolls forward, see what I did there? Letting you work at your own pace, prioritize as you go, and stop feeling behind when life gets busy. Are you a flexibility seeker? Are you a blend of both type A and type B? Like you love structure, but then once you have it implemented, you feel like everything's too rigid and you get overwhelmed by it? Or on the flip side, are you someone that loves freeform, but with all that freedom and space on the page and the lack of structure, you find yourself disoriented and disconnected and even forgetful? Well, the Rolling Weekly is organized and chill. And lastly, are you a minimalist? Are you someone who's looking to set up a simple and effective spread that won't take forever to make? Enter the Rolling Weekly. And if you are all of the above, just like me, then yay, great, welcome to the club, happy to have you here. I am hopeful that this spread can be of great use to you. Let's break it down. Now we're gonna make a Rolling Weekly spread together, and I will talk you through this all in real time about the intricacies that go into making the spread. I say intricacies, but really there's nothing intricate about it. It's super simple, but I just wanna break it down a bit more with you and show you the ways that you can customize the spread and make it your own. So before we go into actually making the spread, I want to point out the foundation that makes up the Rolling Weekly spread. It's usually a 2-page setup. So you've got your rolling task list or your running list of tasks throughout the week right here. And then you've got your weekly spreads dailies which is like this. You can have all your dailies for the week on one page, or you can have them take up more pages. You can flip the components, so you can have your running task list on the right side and then your dailies on the left. It doesn't change the functionality of the spread. I usually put the rolling task list on the left side because if I want to expand my dailies, I can, and I can just keep going. And then when it comes to referring to the rolling weekly, I don't have to look on the right back page as I'm doing my dailies. I can just look to the left, if that makes sense. So I can be writing my dailies and then I can just flip and then I can see it easily. I'm going to keep things simple by just writing out the header. You can use your stamps, washi tape, you can do calligraphy, whatever you would like to customize it. Up top here, I will write Sunday to Saturday. And then you can have a title for this rolling weekly. I've written rolling weekly. You can do week number, whatever. You can do work to do, home tasks, or just tasks. I will draw a line underneath here just to break up the header and the general text. On the right side here, I will do the dailies, and that is how you set up the rolling weekly. Now we are going to go through the symbols that you can use. It's basically the same symbols from your bullet journal key, but there are a little tweaks here and there. But obviously, feel free to customize your symbols to however you use your bullet journal. It doesn't have to be like this, but this can be a way for you to start if you're just beginning using the spread. For a task, I usually draw a bullet or a dot. I know for the normal bullet journal key, you draw a dot that's filled in, but I like having it as a circle. Now I'm going to show you what a task looks like if it's completed. Let's say you started the task on Monday and then you also worked on it on Wednesday and Thursday. So I would draw a bullet here and a bullet here. And what I like to do is I like to connect the dots together. And then I also like to connect it with the actual bullet here as well to signify that this was a continuous task throughout the week. It was something I was working on throughout the week. And then when you connect it with this bullet, it's just easier for your eyes to see where that task belongs to. And since it was completed, I just X it out. Now, if it was partially completed, this is what it would look like. Worked on it on Tuesday and Thursday. So I would link Tuesday and Thursday together and then link it with the original bullet. And then I would just do a slash. This shows to me that this was in progress, not quite done yet. And if a task needs to be migrated onto the next rolling weekly, I just draw a right arrow and then a left arrow can mean a task is delegated to somebody else. I've also used this arrow as a way to signify that this task has been moved back onto the monthly log because there was no point in me repeating writing this task for the next weekly log. And for a task that's been canceled, I just cross out the whole entire thing. The next thing I want to talk about is soft scheduling a task. Let's say you have an idea that you want to do your task on Wednesday. So you'll draw a bullet and you'll leave it like that, just a floating bullet. That just means you would like to do that task on Wednesday. The difference between a floating bullet with no line linking to it versus something like this is the soft scheduling. This is like, at the beginning of the week, I'm telling myself, I would like to do this task on Wednesday. I don't know if I'll get to it, but this is the day that I'd like to do it. So when Wednesday comes, I can see, oh, I have already soft scheduled something here. And it's this task. Versus if I definitely know I'm going to get to it, it's something set in stone, then I would draw a line linking to that specific task. The next thing I want to show you is if I have a task that's been soft scheduled and then I eventually end up completing it. So let's say I decided to schedule it for Wednesday, but then on Friday, I do end up completing it. So I wouldn't draw a line between Wednesday and Friday because I didn't actually start it on Wednesday, but I started on Friday and then I completed it. So I draw a line between Friday and the actual task bullet, and then I would exit out. And this is basically how you make the rolling weekly spread. You keep a running task list throughout the week on one page, and then you assign them to the days that you think you'll do them, or when you'll actually do them, or when they must truly happen on that specific day. Then you got your dailies right here, so you can look at your rolling weekly, see what you have, and then you migrate it onto your daily, and you can further flesh it out and write it in detail on your daily. On your running task list, you can add anything really that comes to mind. You also can add tasks that you will migrate from the week before. You can also add on ongoing tasks. Now I want to show you my current rolling weekly setup. This is something I've been only doing for the past couple of weeks. I'm currently in my second week doing this, so I don't know if this is going to stick, but I'm really liking it so far. This is what it looks like. I've got two running to-do lists going on. I have one that's work related and then one that's homemaking related. And at the bottom here, I decided to add my dailies. And I like this because this limits me in how much I can write each day, which is kind of good for me at the moment because as a homemaker and a content creator, I have a never-ending to-do list. There's always something to do. There's always something to work on. When I have a really small space, I am encouraging myself to only come up with 3 top priorities per day. This is really helpful if you're someone who struggles with analysis paralysis and you're like, what do I need to do today? There is so much to do. I like writing a 3-item to-do list. This shows that these are the 3 things that I would like to do today that would not only have the most significant impact in them being done for that day, but if I can't get anything else accomplished, these 3 things are good enough. I haven't written Tuesdays yet, so I should probably do that now. Rolling weekly video, script a video. Oh, I need to water my succulents. And this is what my rolling weekly curling looks like. I can show you last week's. This is what it looks like when it's complete. I quite like it. I first had my work and home rolling weeklies like sectioned off on one page, and I felt like it was a bit cluttered. It didn't feel really organized. For some reason, my brain likes them both on its own page, and that for some reason helps me feel less anxious and less cluttered. I would like to talk to you about the different ways in which you can customize your rolling weekly spread. I've covered that you can make this spread on more than just 2 pages. Another way that you can customize is obviously your headers. You can name them however you want. Another way to customize is by adding color, as I have here on this example. I just took some zebra mildliner markers and I highlighted 4 of the 7 days of the week so that the columns stand out more, which makes it easier for you to see your tasks throughout the week. I've also done this with my old rolling weekly spreads. I've used different colors for different months of the year, and I've also used no color, so it's something for you to experiment if you would like. Another way to customize is using the nesting technique in bullet journaling, which is making an indentation and writing out the small tasks, the subtasks that make up the large task. And that is the rolling weekly. I hope you found this video helpful and that you have understood how this layout has been so game-changing, at least for me in my life. Because, you know, real life is messy, and I think your planning system should be able to handle that. And so I believe the rolling weekly can do it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe because I will be posting more videos for this series called Simple Systems. And I would love to hear how you plan out your weeks. Do you use a planner or a bullet journal? What kind of layout do you make? Do you use horizontal rows or vertical columns? I would love to hear how you make your week work. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!